All right. Our rank is too high, and people have been asking, so we're finally going to do it, chat. Historic Delver. Delver of Secrets, 1/1 for 1, cares about instant and sorceries to help get flipped over into a 3/2. We're playing Dragon Rage Chandler as additional 1-mana threat. We've got Sprite Dragon here as another card that gets paid off for casting lots of spells. And then we've got a couple of Stormwing Entities as additional evasive threats. So all of our things can theoretically fly. And we've got lots of good instants and sorceries. We've got Pillar of Flame and Unholy Heat for interaction. This also doubles as reach. We've got some Consider and some Expressive Iteration as card selection. We've got Memory Lapse because it's historic, so you should probably be playing Memory Lapse. We've got Soul Guide Lanterns. And then the crux of this deck that's kind of sweet is we've only got 16 actual lands in the deck, thanks to our plethora of spell lands here. So we actually have 28 hits that flip Delver, which is gas. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it goes. There you go. We'll keep this. We'll bottom of Steam Vents. How crazy is it to cast Expressive Iteration as Anticipate, so I'm very likely to be able to consider Stormwing next turn? I think I'm kind of into it. Yeah, I guess I could just consider and then, like, Pillar of Flame their Dome or Pillar of Flame a creature, potentially. Yeah, punished for my sequencing. Decline. I think we want to draw that. Am I in for a fourth land? I think I'm in for a fourth land. Am I? I double bottom here because extra night can Chandler plus Memory Lapse. Oh, it's bottom here. Look for like Unholy Heat. More removal spells for their white deck. Looks like a Death and Taxes style disruptive deck. Think I want to just hold up Lapse here. Well, the problem with holding the land to mill with the Dragon Rage Chandler is then that commit me to drawing the Sprite Dragon, which I'm not sure that I want. And then it also means I have to Chandler plus Pillar the next turn, and I can't hold up Memory Lapse. So, like, taking that line commits me to a lot of different things. So we're basically just hoping to have a land on top of our deck when we Shatterskull Smashing so we can kill them in the air. Or Skyclave instead. So we're one short of killing them here. Unsummon's a good draw though. Maybe gets us across the finish line. Stormwing Entity looking excellent here. Arasanari, thank you for the 22 months. Welcome back. So we get to unsummon Skyclave Apparition and then block one of the other ones here. I mean, unsummon, traditionally speaking, has been playable in a variety of things. Oh, man, close game. Close game. Thanks for the follow, Mr. Leroy. We cut the counter spells, just bring in a bunch of removal here. Breeds and fries. I think I'll leave one lantern in as the extra, just as a way to help enable delirium on occasion. Yeah, probably Tumos. They need a blocker. So no threat in our opener is not great, but definitely not going to 5. This hand's hopefully buys us enough time to get there. All right. The real question is, will Will my YouTube video from the open be done processing before I'm done streaming today? All right, I'm gonna greed and hope we hit a red source here. I get 4 looks. Do you have to bin anything that's not a red land? Perfect. So hand, library, exile. I'm looking for more threats. It could be right to keep removal, though. Yeah. In for land 4, it lets us fry plus Fading Hope next turn. Can I race this board? I don't think so. I think we just need to chill for the time being. Sure. Yeah, plenty of lands. That doesn't really matter. Honestly, kind of just want more Stormwing Entities in my deck. Card's been real good in this first game. Hey, Chad, how long is the Delver going to take to flip? I hope you all appreciate my professionalism. Can I do 1/1 to these, actually? Nah, let's do these. We really want a creature on top here or an artifact. I think we keep Fading Hope, right? I already have Instance in here. Was kind of hoping to hit Delirium with this play, but it is what it is. And we're at 20, right? And they just put themselves to 15, so beep beep off to the races. There's a creature on top of our deck, they die. Hey, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Fuzzy Kittens. Yeah, yesterday went well. Alright, so it looks like we're going to be heading to a game 3 here. Pretty happy with how we boarded, I think. Stall. All Doomblades on deck for sure. You fry the dog, would you have had lethal? No? They had Thalia as a blocker? Oh, you're saying fry in addition to my thing. Yeah, Deafening Silence meant I could only cast one spell a turn. That play would have worked in paper, though, so I'm glad you're thinking on your feet. Okay, so this is something we can do, which is, this is a card that I don't want to draw, so I've put a stop on my upkeep. We'll decline to reveal it. Now, before I draw, we'll consider bin this, draw something else, and then draw something else for the turn. Real Delver of Secret Hours here. All you can eat 1/1 buffet, chat. Alright, you little blue fuck. Flip. The Delver of Secrets experience, ladies and gentlemen. The Delver of Secrets experience. There were 29 hits in our deck that flipped Delver in the post-board games there. No, you don't have to yell at Thing in the Ice to get it to flip. Thing in the Ice is a good boy, unlike Delver. Thing in the Ice just flips when you want it to. You don't need to yell at Thing in the Ice. Main deck Magma Spray, eh? Magma Spray makes me think they're a more controlling blue-red variation. You know, I hadn't thought about that, Pelly. That is pretty peak Magic the Gathering players. Bitching endlessly about dice roll cards, but then being excited that Delver's back. That's a great comparison. Yeah, no jokes, Team Flogger Boss. A huge part of it is just like what people are familiar with. Delver is good random because Delver is random that they're used to. I think we've died, chat. I'm gonna... Just don't have any threats. Opponent appears to be a little clueless this morning. They are playing Jeskai. They were just previously missing colors. Delver is manipulative randomness in most dies. Well, I mean, you can manipulate your die rolls with several cards that lets you roll more of them. Or a number of cards that let you manipulate your die rolls. I'd also argue that the extremes that Delver offers, being a 1/1 versus a 3/2 flyer, is a bigger extreme than rolling a 20 versus rolling a 1 on most of the cards that involve rolling dice. If you look at the cards that involve rolling dice, the output variance based on what you roll is very minimal. You go to jeffhoagland.com and click Hoaglandia Open, so you can find coverage and deck lists of all of the past opens. There's not coverage up there for the open yesterday as of yet because it's still processing on YouTube, but deck lists are linked there. Yes, yeah, exactly that, Mariner. When examining variants, looking at or being critical of, well, what's the difference between a good hit and a bad hit is really key. My Twitch VODs aren't sub-only. They shouldn't be, at least. Non-subs can watch my Twitch VODs. Do any of the D20 cards see play? No, not in Constructed. That's true. If you are a sub, you could watch them as well, but you don't have to be a sub. I think creators that make their VOD sub-only do themselves a disservice in terms of growth. I think gating personal interaction, like things like sub-only Twitch chat, is one thing, but I think you should always want people to have access to your actual content for free, because they're more likely to want to support when they can see what your actual content is. So this is a pretty clean 8 counter spells in, 8 removal spells that aren't very good out. One of the really nice things here with Malevolent Hermit is not only is Malevolent Hermit a not only is Malevolent Hermit a counterspell, but it's also a threat, assuming they don't have a crab in play. Morning, Lagrange. Yeah, this is good, right? 2 lands. 2 lands, 2 threats, 2 disruptive spells, piece of card advantage. Kind of everything we want, huh? These are a few of my favorite things. I actually don't really need a Delver, so I'm going to put Steam Vents in hand. We'll put Delver on the bottom. We'll put this in exile. Thanks, Bib. I try. All right, and this game should probably be pretty over at this point, right? We've got Lapse and Dispute up here. We've got 2 decent threats in play. We're gonna surveil. We're gonna surveil into the graveyard pretty aggressively here, trying to enable Dragon's Rage Chandler. Two card types. 2 card types. Now I'll take an Expressive Iteration, I think. We're gonna sit on Memory Lapse here, obviously. Coverage was great. We had a small issue of my computer blue screening during the middle of the event, but outside of the blue screen, everything went fantastically. Very, very easily the best open event we've had. Okay, so assuming they have nothing, if I iteration into an untapped land, we kill them with Dorat triggers. I get 4 shots at this untapped land. This is where the magic happens. And by magic, I mean this is a part where my opponent untaps and puts a 7/7 into play. That means I can no longer kill them. I think we put that on top, right? Because it's a lethal threat. All right, no creativity. Good. It's good step 1. Hashtag sometimes lucky. I did board out my burn spells. I technically have a couple copies of Fading Hope. It's possible that I just want some more of these in the 75 because they're decent against the creativity deck. The creativity deck's fallen off a little bit too, though. We have a lot of counter spells. I don't necessarily know that we need more of these. Maybe the 3rd unsummon's better than like the 3rd Abrade, though. What do the kids say? Is it YOLO? Nope, Brawl matchmaking was fixed with the patch this week. We played Brawl to start this morning. I've been enjoying Brawl a reasonable amount when we've been able to play it, but it is the least popular of Standard, Historic, and Historic Brawl. Of those three, Brawl is the least popular, so when we do Brawl on the channel, it will likely be first thing in the morning, because I like to put the least popular Magic content to start. So we're not going to stop doing it, but if you want to try and catch it live, it will be first thing in the morning is my plan. Play a Prismari command, thanks. It's a power difference between Vapor Snag, Fading Hope, and Unsummon. So, Vapor Snag is more aggressive than the other two, and then Fading Hope is just better than Unsummon. So, part of me wants this threat, but another part of me wants to flip the Dragon's Rage Chandler, and then I also need a cheap spell to go with Stormwing. So I think I'm bidding this. So we have instant creature in here. I think if you have access to Vapor Snag's probably the best. Tempo decks are aggressive decks, Nimblesloth. Tempo stands for aggro control, for reference. But I like Brawl more if it was best of 3. I think Brawl works fine as a best of 1 format, especially with deck strength matchmaking. I didn't comment on my own personal like of Brawl. In fact, I said I've been enjoying Brawl, which is why we're going to play it on stream. I was just commenting on the fact that people that both watch my videos on YouTube and that subscribe on Twitch like Brawl less than they like Standard and Historic. For example, in the most recent Hoaglandia survey, we had 87.5% support for Standard, 91% for Historic, and 73% for Brawl. So Brawl's still relatively high. It is just markedly less popular than the others. Also, those votes towards Standard, I would bet, are on the low side because that was a poll that happened before we actually got to try the format. So it was just measuring potential optimism. So I will bet when I send out my survey for October that Standard will likely be higher. Assuming 2 weeks from now we're still happy with it. If the format 2 weeks from now is anywhere remotely close to where it was this past weekend, I would wager that that number will probably get up above 90% too. Hey, third time's the charm, chip. I'll do it again, I swear. I think I just have to let this happen. So, the line I'm about to take here is kind of aggressive. But I think I Fading Hope a token here during the upkeep, so we can try and get to a land to play the Stormwing this turn. I need another threat. Expressive Iteration is actually the best draw in my deck because it will, it'll flip this, he says, before attacking into Shark Typhoon. Holy crap, they didn't have Shark Typhoon, chat. Yeah, I should probably have a third Fading Hope in the 75. Shark Typhoon's so annoying. And now we're just looking for counter spells, right? We're just like looking for lapses, disputes, and it's fine. So I'm gonna take action here, and then I'm actually gonna surveil this into the bin because I don't have a sorcery in here yet, and I just want to start attacking them. I just want to get them dead. Shark Typhoon's the card we can't beat at the moment. Anything else we kind of have on lock. This means I have lethal next turn, right? Because if this is a blank, we memory lapse that again, and then they die. Normally, I'd feel bad about this play pattern I'm currently executing, but my opponent's playing the deck that they're playing, so they can get out of here. I think I just let this happen. I think I just let this happen and I decline because I can't let them creativity this turn. And then we'll just hold up Lapse plus Dispute here. Oh, I could have technically lethaled them there, right? Yeah, they only have one card. I totally should have Iteration and then disputed my Iteration. I still have Memory Lapse up. Hopefully they're dead and it doesn't matter, but definitely should have cast my spell and countered my spell. Please concede. Is it worth countering that to play on them finding Shark Typhoon? Yeah, probably that's a good thought. But I'm gonna put a third Fading Hope in our deck. From Pillar of Flame, maybe. I'm gonna put the extra pillar in the board, trim the Abrade. Do I want to add other Stormwings? I don't know. Trimming Pillar actually makes Stormwing slightly worse. We have an okay amount of card selection. I find these two okay. This is like 3 mana is a lot of mana. That's good, but it's also expensive in terms of resources. Thanks for the follow, Zenith Beast. Good morning. Furious Obsession. There's a name I haven't heard in a long time. That does sound kind of sweet, though. We like drawing extra cards, and it's an enchantment for Darcy. I could see that being really good. No, I think Unsummon is just a good Garden archetype like this, Patrick. The Scry makes it marginally better, but it's not a reason to run a card that you wouldn't be playing otherwise. Morning, Draftius. Thanks for the follow. Hey, Delver. You're on probation after that mono-white matchup. You'll flip over if you know what's good for you. That's fine. He's gonna die to a fiery temper here anyways. I bet our opponent doesn't know how unlucky we are. Yeah, look at this, chat. This opponent respects our Delver of Secrets. Jokes on them. That card was a 1/1 for 1. Boomerang. Wow, we would have flipped it. Never lucky. Did we just jam? I think we just head to the... I think we just jam with Dorat. Yeah, Unsummon, the thing a lot of people forget about Unsummon when it comes to playing it in decks like we're currently playing too is that, like, Unsummon protects your own threats too. You can Unsummon when they try and kill your thing in response to a removal spell. That ends up being very reasonable a lot of the time. Don't remember seeing it prior to MID coming out. Well, were there other tempo decks in any form before MID came out? So, like, the style of deck that this Delver deck isn't a style of deck people were playing before Innistrad the Midnight Hunt. And honestly, there's a chance that even with the upgrades that this deck has for Midnight Hunt with Delver, like, it's still not good enough, and you're better off just playing a deck like Phoenix. Like, Phoenix was the closest thing, and even that wasn't really a tempo deck. That was like a linear pseudo combo deck in a lot of ways. Your goal was just like to zoom and run people over. Ow. I think I'm keeping that, huh? I have blue-red giants built in my deck editor. We're going to play it today. The other ones still need to be built. Well, shoot. Pillar of Flame would be great. It's pre-recorded in front of a live studio audience. So, I think we draw step Unholy Heat here. Yeah, Blue-Red Giants is going to be the second standard deck that we play today. So this land is Delirium, but I want this to be able to block this turn. So I'm waiting to put it in the graveyard, so that way I don't have to attack with it for a turn. Okay, so we Unholy Heat this, and then we exile their graveyard. So we're a little bit ahead, but live top decks on both sides could easily change that. Them bricking here is good for us. Obviously. If I cast this, I need to find untapped blue. I think we're still supposed to cast it. I think it's pretty important that I find a blue here if possible. Sweet. So, hand, library, exile. We exile at instant speed to give them a chance to make a mistake and block. I mean, if you want to sit here and waste everybody's time, sure, that's the technically correct play, but I'm just going to, like, save myself a second and not assume my opponent's an idiot. So you're right. In a cutthroat tournament where you're all about your equity, that's the technically correct play. No, yeah, I just read the prompts as they appear at the top of my screen to avoid messing it up. See, very good card on top of their deck. Another Memory Lapse, please. So, if I take Chandler, I'm attacking them to 8. I have them dead in the air next turn. So if the 2 cards under this don't interact with my board or kill me, I win. So hand, library, exile. Close game. Hey, hit me, dealer. Survey says. And ain't gonna do it. Sick game. This is why you play Pillar of Flame over Magma Spray, by the way. For this game right here. That's a question I often get is, Jeff, why are we playing Pillar of Flame instead of the instant speed Magma Spray? Because hitting them in the face with your burn spell is really good. We won after we top deck Delver. It's the best card in the deck. I mean, you are technically correct. Is the shock scry one good? I think the upside of exiling the thing you are targeting is better than scry one. It's also relevant in this deck that this is our only other sorcery other than Expressive Iteration. So having more sorceries to be able to hit Delirium more consistently is important. Yeah, Shatterskull and the blue one are technically sorceries, but yeah, they're tough to get them in. Is accurate. Keep 7 and believe. Stop it. Get some help. We had 3 Delvers, so the top of our deck would have been lands for the rest of the game. Big mood. Found the experienced Delver player in the audience. Of course you would have drawn lands, Jeff. We had all Delvers. The Storko cannot block, which is why the perfect pet gets to get in there. All violent-like. Well, they haven't snapped off killing my Dorat yet, so like that bodes well for the home team. We've got 4 shots at a Pillar of Flame to deal with this Phoenix next turn. Porcelain Legionnaire. You remember standard blue-white Delver playing that card? Because it was just like a good anti-aggro card against Gruul. Takes me back. Taters and tots. Thanks for the follow. Hand library exile? Question mark. Looking for threats and removal spells here. I'm gonna make this potentially a 3/3. super unfortunate. Do I want to save this? I think I want to save this. Hey, Andrew, you're in chat this morning. What on Windows or where can I look in the settings? My left and right channels are backwards on my headset. And they weren't always backwards. At one point, they were in the correct ears. But I'm clicking on the left side, and it's definitely in my right ear. And when I click over here, it's in my left ear. No, I promise you my headset is not on backwards. Is it just arena or system-wide? I'm pretty sure it's system-wide. I'm pretty sure it's system-wide because it happened on one of the PlayStation games we were playing. I was trying to listen for something and it was the exact opposite way I was listening on. I think we're dead here. We just needed more removal spells and just didn't have them. Yeah. Are my ears on the wrong side of my head? I want to double check. I want to make sure my left and my right are correct. Is there a left or a right on this headset? Usually there's letters, right? Yeah, the headset, the part where a microphone would plug in is on the left side of this headset. So yeah, it's definitely got it on the right. I'm wearing it correctly. Arena has the most stable sound engine. It could be exclusively Arena. That would be wild if it was Arena causing it to happen system-wide. Thanks for the 19 months, fan tricks. Keep this. YOLO. Delver on one, chat. All right, chat, I need you to believe, chat. Shout out to everybody at home that believed in our little Delversky poo here. So I couldn't figure, so the Wave XLR software that I use has a checkbox that says lock gain control. And I was like, well, why would I need to lock the gain control? And then I loaded Skype yesterday for the first time so we could have a third way to have a person come in to do audio. And Skype grabbed control of my gain and tried to adjust it auto-magically system-wide. And suddenly it all made sense why there was a lock gain control button. And for the other millennials and zoomers out there, I think I am going to finally take the time to make a third Discord account so we can run it all through Discord. But for reference, the only reason we use Skype is we'd been using Skype was because I am already using 2 Discord instances to capture screens from players. So it's not like I looked at Discord and was like, no, I'm going to use Skype instead. It was like, I was like, I don't really want to try and manage 3 Discord instances. But I think we're going to sit down and see if that causes any issues. Because two run just fine. Just supposed to smashing this root wall of this turn. What was it? The OG Burning Crusade days, you weren't using Ventrilo or TeamSpeak? Gotta get on the Vent server, fam. All the best conversations happen in the Vent server. Hello! Thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. AIM. Does the AIM messaging protocol still function? Does it still exist? Our deck taking a controlling role here is really not where we want to be. No, it's dead. Okay. It was actually just taken down recently. Fancy that. Amuletode, thanks for the follow. IRC still exists. I've used IRC servers in the last year. Okay, so we're digging for a Soul Guide Lantern, fam. Yikes. Well, these trade, I guess, but again, like, taking this controlling role here is really not where we want to be in life. Yeah, actually, for reference, for people that don't, yeah, you're currently all using IRC for people that aren't familiar. Every Twitch chat is literally just an IRC channel. With some fancy HTML over the top. You can actually use, if you Google it, there's directions on how you can join a Twitch chat using a traditional IRC server. IRC server client. Alright, we dead, fam. Those of you that are new to the channel, like Mike Buckets, I'm not quite as old as I look. I'm only 30, but I've been around the internet for some time. In a former life during undergrad and grad school a decade ago, I spent a lot of time in IRC servers working on and contributing to various open source projects. I have a master's degree in mathematics, spent some time teaching, worked at a Fortune 50 company for a little bit doing process automation, so I bounced around and done a lot of things before we settled on being a full-time meme. Every child you have ages your appearance by, I don't know, let's say 2 to 5 years. I will be 31 in January. If your birth year starts with a 1, you're a boomer. Kids these days. Listen, chat, all you need to know to feel old is that there are people born in the year 2000 who can drink in the United States. That's all you need to know. Grimclimb Pathway Yorian. You have my attention. Are we getting Doom Foretolded? So this could totes be a Doom Scar, speaking of Doom. I think I'm just supposed to, like, Soul Guide Lantern tapped land. Oh, this is a Heat, not a Pillar Flame, so we can't do this anyways. Oh, that's such an awkward interaction. I heard if you ask someone if they're an undercover boomer, they have to tell you by law. I can't decide whether I'm more offended when I get called a boomer or when my nephew calls me a libertarian. Well, libertarians make a conscious choice to be idiots. Boomers can't control the year they were born in. There's an important distinction between the two. Am I supposed to Unholy Heat my Dorat so I can play Stormwing? I think that's the play, right? The real question is, chat, how badly do we want to die to a sweeper here? If they play a piece of spot removal, I might go all in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey, we need a creature or a land on top? Creature or land on top? Houston, we are cleared for takeoff. We are cleared for takeoff, Houston. Over and out. Roger, Dodger. Hey, don't wrath me, Daddy. Have a heart. Survey says this has got to be a Doomscar, right? They're a black-white deck and they have something foretold. Oh, they didn't have it, chat. Oh, and we get to Memory Lapse their play next turn. Oh, baby. So, chat, I'm not a bad man. I'm just a product of the environment in which I'm playing Magic. The military is mandating that their people get vaccinated today. Gosh! Such a slippery slope. I'm expecting the military to obey lawful orders? What is this? It's insanity. Thanks for the sub, Fuzzmaster. All right, so Unholy Heats are an easy cut, obviously. Probably Pillar of Flame too, actually. Oh yeah, I think that the correction on the information, I believe the military, the mandate came through a while ago for them, but the deadline is coming up, right? So the deadline was like the start of October or the start of November or something. I think we just want all the counter spells, right? Yeah, Hermit seems nuts. I think we bring in Dispute as just crappy mana leak, right? I don't know that I want Fry. I think I want a couple of Soul Guides because they might have graveyard stuff, and two, it's good for Delirium. Maybe I don't want all the cancels. That's correct, Guardian. The United States military is a lot like most public schools in that they have a giant list of things they expect their people to be vaccinated against because we should prevent transmitting illnesses that are preventable. That's socialist talk. I am a dirty, rotten socialist, according to Twitter. Seize the means of production, comrades. Yeah, this is fine. 2 threats, kind of a protection spell, a piece of disruption. The military also dictates extra vaccinations depending on deployment location. That makes a lot of sense, right? Oh, they were an Esper deck missing colors. I understand now. I don't have the BTT emotes enabled in general because some of the Pepe the Frog ones have been co-opted for some less than nice things. So I don't really want them in my spaces. Wow. Elspeth's Nightmare is actually kind of absurd against us, huh? This is like really good. Yeah, that's a solid one. They took Smashing, interesting. Maybe I should have played the untapped plan to make taking Fading Hope more appealing. Yeah. Yeah, I should have played this. That was a punt on my part. Should have played untapped plan so I could bounce my threat in response to removal spell there. They're missing land drops, but that means they currently have at least 5 spells in their hand plus a companion, which is not great for us with no threat. Alright, I mean, as far as like non-threat draws go, Expressive Iteration was towards the top. This could be a threat plus something else. Nice, nice. So we'll go hand, library, exile, play a land, play this, hold Memory Lapse up. Okay. They're missing white mana this game, notably, because this played down on Grimclaw. So we have just sorcery at the moment. So this is artifact, instant. So we get 3 surveils to find a land or a creature. I think I'm supposed to do that so we're cleared for takeoff. Decline. I would love a Hermit. This card's really good, by the way. I kind of expect... I wouldn't be surprised if this card sees, like, Legacy play. I think it's definitely historic playable at a minimum. Well, welcome back, Skoogle. It's good to have you here. Appreciate the support. Just, like, counter your spell, flash this back into a 2/2. Seems great. We have Xanthid Swarm at home. Oh, it does kind of seem like a gas storm sideboard card, huh? My prediction is my opponent's going to draw this Extinction event 2 more times, and then it's going to get Mystic Disputed. What a fun and stimulating game of Magic the Gathering, chat. Skoogle! Oh gosh, we get to surveil, we get to just like draw, I could, no, I'll just cast this as the front half, right? Is this better than the Smoldering Egg deck list? Listen, chat. The number of times I had to answer on YouTube why my blue-red Delver deck in Standard wasn't playing Dragon Rage Chandler was too damn high. So, is this deck better than the Smoldering Egg deck? It's in a different format, chat. It's in a different format. Is it better? I mean, it's got Memory Lapse in it, so like it's definitely better. I like this. It's, you know, as far as this is the least bad I felt playing Memory Lapse, in that most of the rest of my deck was bad, so I didn't feel like I was being too much of a bully while I was casting this card. This is the type of deck I typically like playing. You basically get to have 8 Delver style of effects. Stormwing Entity was pretty reasonable. Honestly, part of me wonders if maybe we're supposed to like cut the perfect pet and play more Stormwing Entities. This card takes a little bit to build up, and the fact that this card costs 5 mana is actually super relevant against things like Skyclave Apparition. That's pretty popular in the format right now. The Scry on this also incidentally helps you flip your Delver of Secrets if you're super unlucky like me and haven't flipped your Delver by turn 3. Yeah, Fatal Push sees some amount of play, and there's just plenty of red removal in the format, right? So like the fact that this has 3 toughness to start means that there's less of a window where this can die to red removal. So I might try that. I don't know what else I would want if we cut these, but like maybe we go to 4 of these and we just like find another 1 mana spell. Like maybe we put the last Pillar of Flame in and we play like an opt, so we have more 1 mana ways to enable this. Could be fine. I don't hate that. Yeah, honestly, I don't think that's a terrible suggestion either. You could definitely main board some Hermits. I think this card's very, very good in general. It's Disruption, that's a threat, that's like card advantage as well. All right. We're gonna go ahead and shift gears.